Over the last couple of days, I've seen some comments from some people that made me a little sad. These people are unable to enjoy classic Star Wars and expanded universe. I'm sad for people who have read the EU and they can't enjoy it anymore. I'm also sad for people who have never read it and are repulsed to the point of not even wanting to try. These were stories that expanded the scope of the saga we love. They had old characters we were able to see grow. They introduced new characters we came to love and understand. They also introduced new eras that remained faithful to the franchise. I'm going to let you in on a secret: how I'm able to compartmentalize Disney Lucasfilm's productions with the Star Wars name on them from real Star Wars, and thus continue to enjoy real Star Wars. Or for some of you, to begin enjoying real Star Wars. There will be some necessary shots taken at Disney Lucasfilm, but stick around to the end to see my advice, which I directly derive from the documented iniquities we're about to jump into. Here we have Pablo Hidalgo comparing YouTubers, people speaking out against Disney Lucasfilm as ticks, as insects. Here we have Pedro Pascal, star of The Mandalorian, arguably comparing half of the United States to Nazis. Justina Ireland, one of the hack authors of the books that currently carry the Star Wars logo. White nonsense gets up early, but I get up earlier. Just kidding. White nonsense never sleeps. Christina Ariel, host of all those shows on StarWars.com that are seemingly built for little kids, calling out, hilariously I might add, white liberals, but at the same time making some racist comments in this tweet. E.K. Johnston alienating half of the populace, almost any populace. Daniel Jose Older, another hack author, accusing critics of Disney Lucasfilm for leaving the fandom for racist reasons. This is something we've disproven again and again in video after video. Then you have Justina Ireland, again, pulling a Kelly Sue DeConnick and telling people not to buy her books. Former vice president of Walt Disney World Resorts, Dan Cockerell, revealed a couple of years ago that Kathleen Kennedy herself nixed the original ideas for the Star Wars theme park. It would have included stuff that, fans wanted, like Mos Eisley Cantina. No, let's create some new crap, because we're rebuilding Star Wars from the ground up. And we'll get into that later. But here's one fan concept of what a Star Wars theme park could have been. We've all seen the recent news on the Galactic Star Cruiser and what a disaster it is for Disney, because it's not Star Wars. We think about Alan Dean Foster, suffering from cancer, having to fight for his royalties for writing several Star Wars books, including the novelization of the first film. We think about the wanton destruction of our heroes, not just the obvious examples, but when you look in their books, like Last Shot from Daniel Jose Older, where he has a Gungan race-splaining to a Han Solo. Totally out of character is Han Solo in this book, especially in this scene. Back to E.K. Johnston in her Queen Shadow character reference guide, taking an indirect shot at George Lucas by saying that the prequels had a cast that was more white than she'd prefer. Note the all caps phrase in the bottom paragraph, certain panakas who will remain unmentioned, which leads into this excerpt from one of her novels where she not only displays her obsession with menstruation, but also uses the opportunity to slap down a man, in this case, Captain Panaka, who we know from The Phantom Menace. These are the people they're hiring now to write Star Wars, people obsessed with race, obsessed with sex, obsessed with fundamentally changing what Star Wars is about. And when you ask someone on the story group what the standards are for storytelling, you're told it's all fake anyway. And then you have Dave Filoni being condescending, being disingenuous, and flat out lying about what was canon in Star Wars before the Disney sale. And then you have the architect of it all, Kathleen Kennedy, yes, still president of Disney Lucasfilm. Shocker. Listen to what she told Steel Wars in this interview from 2019 at Celebration Chicago.
Well, we knew that George had always envisioned this kind of three-act structure of these three trilogies. But George didn't leave anything more than a blueprint. And certain characters, obviously, that we've known and loved from the previous movies, and then the new characters that were created by JJ in The Force Awakens. So that's really the challenge, is that we don't have source material We don't have 800-page books that we're adapting. We don't even really have comic books that give us a great deal. We have an idea, we have a mythology that George Lucas created. And from that, we bring very incredibly talented people like JJ into the process and our story group up at Lucasfilm.
Now, you could try to explain away what she said there and say it's out of context, but the bottom line is that she chose not to bring up the expanded universe of hundreds of books and hundreds of comics because they're going to do all they can to stand by this decision right here from April 25th, 2014, when they discarded the expanded universe as part of their ploy to recreate Star Wars from the ground up to fundamentally change what the saga and the franchise are about. These are people whose actions indicate that they hate you. They think you're sexist. They think you're racist. They think you're dumb. My advice is to continue to marginalize and trivialize the material that they produce. This will help you to compartmentalize the garbage that they're putting out versus what came before. Staying on the attack will enable you to draw a line between Disney Star Wars and real Star Wars. Have live streams about it, make videos about it, continue to call it out, but don't give Disney Lucasfilm 1 cent of your hard-earned money.